So, welcome to the latest episode of The Main Cut. I'm your host, Jade, and today we are joined by Aminah, the creative force between Armage Hair & Co., an award-winning hairstylist who's redefining what textured hair can be. Aminah's work lives at the intersection between beauty, music, and fine art. She has created hair art for the Amor's Girls Will Be Girls album, and her work has also been featured in exhibitions. In 2023, she took home the Texture Style Awards Student Stylist of the Year, proving that her vision for hair as art is already making its way in the industry. And what makes this story so compelling is that her dedication to setting trends and challenging these boundaries of what styling can really be. And she's not just working behind the chair, but building a brand that is gallery worthy and cultural storytelling. So today we'll talk to her about her journey from student to award winner, how she approaches hair as a creative medium, and where she is taking her business next. So let's get into it. We're going to welcome to the show.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
I mean, it's really easy when you've got stuff that you've already done already. And like I said earlier, really, really grateful to have your time because, being a stylist is a very busy job.
Yes, especially on the holiday days, that's when everybody's off. They want to
Yes.
come get their hair done.
And everybody wants to see you. So
Yes.
no, we really appreciate having that time. And I mean, I know that I've shed a little bit of light on who you are and what you've done, but first it'd be really great if you could tell us a bit more about your journey into hair. When did you realize that hair could be more than just styling, but it could also be art?
I want to say after I left college.
Okay.
So I started doing hair in middle school.
Yeah.
I continued to teach myself, or I continued to I continued to teach myself through YouTube. It started with braids,
Mm,
feed-ins. Then by the time I got to college, it was wigs, weaves.
right.
Once I left, I indulged myself in the creative realm. So I was going to fashion shows that were hosted by local creatives. And then I'm like, wow, like people be doing hair shows. This is cool. And once I delve into that, I was like, okay, I want to try it. I tried it and I was like, oh yeah, this is fun. So yeah, that's where it started.
Amazing. And what was it about that first hair show that you went to that really made you feel like, oh, I want to be a part of this?
I think it was the excitement in the room.
Uh,
The fact it was a culture. It wasn't I don't want to say it was a culture shock, but
mm,
it was like people are cutting and the models are like dancing at the same time as they're cutting. I was like, wow, this is what the girls will be coming to. Like, this is so cool. But on top of that, they're like creating these pieces, like this hair art at like where they're cutting and combining color. And I was just like, wow, like that seems fun. Like I would want to be on the stage one day. Like this is so cool.
I love that. I mean, I guess it also opens up. It's like a whole new world, right? You're so used to
Yeah.
seeing hair in the way that we see it, kind of day to day. We don't get that exposure to all of the creative side of it. So I can imagine it's like a completely different world. It's like opening a door to a new world in comparison
Yes.
day to day.
Yes. I'm the only person in my hair. I mean, I'm the only person in my family who does hair.
Okay.
So yeah, I kind of like had to expose myself to everything, like little by little. So when I
Yeah.
went to that first hair show, I was like, oh, like this is cool. I like this.
No, I love that. And I mean, you've gone and done so much from that. You've gone from being exposed to your very first, hair show to winning Student Stylist of the Year in 2023. And I mean, what did that recognition mean to you and how has it shaped your confidence and also your career direction?
It meant a lot. At the time, it meant a lot. It wasn't my most positive experience,
Oh,
but it meant a lot in the sense of like, okay, like I'm I create art and someone is recognizing that I can do what they do on those stages.
mm,
And a lot of people don't understand like what I like to do because I'm like I said, the only person in my family. So when I
Mm,
was able to be around other hairstylists who are doing the same thing, because there was a whole bunch of categories,
mm,
and I happened to be in the student category at that time.
right.
So the professionals were even better. And I'm like, wow, like y'all made this, like, and being able to be in the room with those people and just like taking note of who's who and who I need to follow and watch their work so that I can continue to grow and be inspired. So, yeah.
No, I mean, it must have been some of the most amazing moments. So not only when you're watching other people like create their art, but also when you get to learn from people who've been there, done it, and worn the t-shirt. So I can imagine being in the room with all of those, like the pros at the time must have been
Yeah.
great to learn from them and their experience.
Yeah, that was cool. It was very enlightening. Yes.
I can imagine enlightening to see the process and to learn from others. But I mean, it's a huge achievement to walk away with an award like that when you're also contending against other very, very talented people. So, I mean, on our part, a huge congratulations. I know it was a few years ago, but still, that's an award
Yeah.
that very few people have won.
Thank you.
So, I mean, let's talk about, hair and music. So you created hair art for Amour's Girls Will Be Girls album. So how did you translate a musical project energy and message into a visual hair concept?
So they came to me with a mood board. Like they knew what they wanted. They are very specific, but like in the best way possible. They know what they want, and I can appreciate it even when it comes down to their styling, like clothes wise.
Mm,
So I just built off of the inspiration pictures that they sent me.
amazing.
And while most of it is inspiration, a lot of it was kind of just on the fly. Like, I'm just creating as I go. So this looks good on your face shape. Let's do this.
Mhm.
Okay. And that's how we got there.
And what was the actual experience itself like? So you're there, you're doing the work. I can imagine that's high pressure.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It was I believe it was a 14-hour day.
Ooh,
Yeah, I got there at like 5:30, six
okay.
a.m. and I didn't leave until like 9.
Oof.
So that wasn't the only style that I created for them. I created about like 5 looks for them that day. It was
Right.
like a media day for them. So um that was fun. Honestly, it was fun to me. Honestly, I really enjoy being in high energy spaces.
Mhm.
Although it wasn't high energy the whole time. Like, there
Yeah.
was points where I could relax, but also you want to make sure that you're paying attention to them while they're on set
Yeah.
to, is their hair sitting right? Do I need to spray something? But also balancing the fact that like, okay, they have another look coming up. What do I need to do for that look?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was exciting for me. But yeah, definitely I had to be good at multitasking that day.
I can only imagine. And I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
for all because there are so many stylists that are interested in getting into that kind of thing, whether it be like fashion, music, like commercials. For anybody who is thinking about getting into that, what is your advice? What are the things that you wish you had known before you'd stepped into that world?
Start small. So work with people creatives who are on your level in a
Mm,
sense so that you could build your portfolio. And once you build your portfolio and people can see what you do, everything else is just about marketing. So being
mhm,
consistent, posting, networking within the creative community so people know that you do that type of stuff.
mhm,
And going to events where your potential clients could be. So I go to like a lot of music events
mhm,
because I appreciate artists, I appreciate music.
mhm,
art galleries, like if somebody's having an exhibition, going
Okay.
to those if you know that you really like art and you know you want your art to be in an exhibit one day.
Mm,
It would be beneficial for you to talk to the photographer who has the space and has created this space for people to come. Um, yeah, if you're into sports, you
mm,
know, go to the sports events. Maybe like start with the high schoolers.
mm.
Uh, you can tell who's gonna be good by the time they're in high
Yeah.
school. So you can like, offer them free services. By the time you do that, you build a rapport with them. They're on to college. Okay. They're
Mm,
telling their college buddies about you. And then if one of them makes it to the NFL, you in there. You know what I'm saying? Or NBA, whatever it is. But yeah, starting small and networking. Yeah, starting small and networking.
yeah. No, that makes sense. It's like networking on, like you said, the same level. It's easier to build. Also, it's easier to build relationships and work your way up together as well.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's a bit more, it's not impossible, but it's just a bit more challenging to get in there with people who are really well established because they've already moved up with their people.
Right, right.
Um,
And also I feel like when you start small, you're working with people who are like on your level in a sense, that's your time to learn and
mm,
know like what not to do and what
yeah,
to do. So when you get to that point, it's like, okay, you didn't lose the job.
yeah, you can make there's less of a risk to making mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's
Yeah,
not, it's not a high risk situation with,
exactly.
walking with I don't know, an Alicia Keys is very
Right,
different.
right.
You won't get two opportunities to get that wrong. I'll get
Yeah.
that right. So, no, that's really good advice for anybody that's on their way up and kind of working their way through the ranks as well. Um, I mean, let's talk about editorial collaboration as well, because you worked with Miss Kania for Deeds magazine, and that must have been really exciting. So, what was that creative process like, and how did you approach that differently, if you did?
So the opportunity to work with Miss Kanaya came through my friend's creative production agency
Oh,
named the Genius Collective.
okay,
She works for D's magazine, so she just brought all of us on. Like, okay, y'all, we're gonna create
nice.
some magic. Let's go. So I I was I was able to get her out her comfort zone in the sense of using we didn't color her hair, but I felt like color was something that she needed because she wasn't doing a lot of color at that time. Like
Right.
a lot of times when I'm working with certain people, I'll look at their Instagram and like kind of like study them visually. So like
Yeah.
see what they've done with their hair, what their style is like. And at the time she was doing a lot of like curly flip overs to build her brand, like a lot of curly hair.
Okay.
Um she had the style in already. So what I did for her is more so elevated it on set. So we used what brand is that? As I Am, they have a curl care gel. I used that for her curls to make it look like a Beyonce ombre moment
Okay.
because the theme was like browns. And I was like, yeah, I feel like this will really pull her look all together. And yeah, that's how I did that.
Okay. No, that's amazing. I mean, what was in comparison to some of the other work that you did, what was it like? Like, was it really similar? Were you walking into a completely different environment altogether?
That day was chill, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. For me personally, it was chill because sometimes your models or your artists will already have a style, so you're
Mhm.
just there to um style that they have, like make it look more refined
Yeah.
or, just add a little accessory, a little pizzazz. So that was my job that day. Like I felt like that was a low stress day for me personally. Um, and I've worked with all the people who were on set before because we
Okay.
are a collective. So yeah, it was a really fun like day on set. I was tired because I was working the day before, but you know, it didn't feel like I knew what to expect because I've worked with these people before.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, how do you how do you try to change things when you're working with somebody for the first time in comparison to when you've worked with them before?
How do I try to change? Okay. Um, I'm not gonna lie, it took a lot for her to agree for me to put like I kept asking her, can we shape the hair a little bit?
Oh,
Like in the
interesting.
sense of like cutting it to make it look more full.
Right.
And she's like, I use these bundles all the time, so I don't know if I'm comfortable with that.
Oh,
So I
interesting.
took that as like, okay, I just gotta sell it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. So I left it alone. I styled the hair. I did my job and I let her
Mm,
see it. And I said, I know you say you don't want to cut it, but you see these little straggly pieces right here. If we just snip, I feel like it will make it look way fuller and you'll like it a little bit more. I'm not trying to cut your hair up,
yeah.
but I do, I'm just trying to make you look good as possible. And
Mm,
I feel like as long as you're selling to whoever you're working with that you're here for them, like I'm not here to make you look bad. I'm here
yeah.
to make you look great. So I wouldn't suggest anything that I think you'll look bad. Like,
Yeah.
like this is for you. This is for you. So yeah, that's usually how I do it. I just put on my retail hat. I sell.
But that is like half the work, right? Because you've got to, a lot of the time, from a lot of the conversations we've had with stylists, people can come in with a very strong vision in terms of
Mhm.
messy, and that vision isn't always good for their hair. It's not also always necessarily what suits them.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily have the education to know what is better. So part of the role as a stylist is how do you educate people without offending them? And how do you convince them in a way that makes them feel like it's the right decision for them? You're not just trying to keep
Yeah.
them for the sake of it, and that is
Yeah.
not. Um,
Yeah. I feel like I just have it naturally.
yeah.
Even when I used to work at Ulta before I started doing hair full time, and they
Uh,
would keep me at the register because they knew I could sell some credit cards. So to me, it's your tone
mm,
and it's your knowledge. I feel
yeah,
like as long as you make them feel comfortable that you know what you're talking about
yeah.
and you don't say it disrespectfully, um, you can get anybody to do like it's persuasion. It's persuasion, that's all.
Persuasion is an art. It's genuinely an
Yeah,
art. If it's
yeah.
something that you're naturally good at, then that's amazing. Because I'm sure that always helps, right? I mean, for
Mhm.
anybody who struggles with that, what's like the one piece of advice you would give them?
Hair is your full-time job or hair is your profession. Hair is what you specialize in.
Mm,
The person that you're talking to does not specialize in hair.
mm,
And I feel like as long as you keep that in the front of your mind, like that kind of like reminds you that you're telling them
yeah.
like they're in your chair.
No,
And
that's
I'll
good
just
advice.
leave
But
it there. Yeah.
it can often be like a confidence thing, right? Where people need to feel confident enough to be able to say,
Yeah.
actually, I
No,
feel
it
like
definitely took me a while. It took me a while, but yeah. Like people they wouldn't sit in your chair if they didn't have some type of trust in you.
that is also
I think
true.
that's another way to think about it too.
Yeah. And that's a more helpful way of framing it. where people
Yeah.
feel more
Yeah.
comfortable and more confident with saying like, actually, I think this is a better route for us to go down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not easy. So yeah, so
No.
for anybody who has struggled with that, we'll also like have a few words on it in the newsletter too. But that's really good advice. Thank you. Uh, and I mean, let's talk about going from like being in a salon to a gallery. So your work has been featured in exhibitions, but how does it feel to see textured hair elevated to like fine art? And what do you hope audiences take away from experiencing hair in that context and in that setting?
Um, Honestly, I didn't even think about hair being in a art exhibit until I don't know if you're familiar with Aggie hair.
Rings a bell.
Yes, she does. She's phenomenal. She's worked with a lot of people. I can't even put a name on all the people that she's worked with, but I went to her exhibit that she created um herself. Like the exhibit that I happened to be in, it was a friend who featured me, but she created this on her own, and she was just talking about how she really views hair as art, and um it inspired me because I was like, wow, I guess you can just view hair as art. Like, it doesn't have to be this, like, you know, scary thing. Cause
Mm,
I feel like sometimes, like, when you think about, or at least when I thought about it, I was like, wow, like, can hair go in the art exhibit? But once
yeah.
she exposed me to hers and she was talking about how she, like, even took pictures for some of her pieces, I was just like, wow, like,
Mm,
it's our hair is what you make it. Art is
mm,
what you make it. And yeah, that inspired me a lot. I think also at the time, like, I was going through grief. So
oh,
yes, that really like pushed me to put more love and passion into the projects.
mm.
Um yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, you were exposed to seeing somebody else being featured, and that completely changed your view on, oh yeah, actually it can feature, it can be art, it can be something
Yes.
people look at in a completely different creative sense. And
Yeah.
it's amazing that just one show, one exhibition can do that for so many people.
And she happened to have a conversation piece too. I wasn't able to attend that, but she's just very intentional about the way she creates a space for hair. And
Yeah.
I love that.
No, we love to see that because it's something that we need more of. I think hair is something that in some cultures, even some parts of our own culture, isn't always taken seriously. It's
Yeah.
always considered as like, a real job. And I'm like, well, it takes so much skill and so much time and so much energy. Um, and even hairstylists end up becoming therapists in their own way and
Yes.
own
Yes.
right. So what I think is really interesting is how seeing hair in a completely different setting can actually be so transformative and completely
Yeah.
change people's perception of what it really means. And I'm sure there are plenty of people that walked away from your exhibition thinking, "Oh, I had no idea that hair could be seen in this way."
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get any feedback from people after the exhibition on what they thought of it or what the experience was like?
Um yeah, I think a lot of people were just like, "You did this? Wow, this is so beautiful." I didn't really get too many. I don't think I wish I talked to more people
Mm.
at the exhibit about like their thoughts. I wish I talked to more people at the exhibit about like how it made them feel.
Mm.
Um cuz I know it makes like I know the pieces made people feel things. But
Yeah.
I just wish I got more of like a like right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was just more so just happy that I did it. Like I was just like, this was a lot. Like, oh my gosh, it's a lot. I'm so happy I made it.
Yeah. No,
So yeah.
it's also okay to live in the moment and just be, like, happy that you've
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
point where you've achieved something that maybe, you didn't know if you would achieve that. So, um, again, it's an amazing achievement. It's something that very few people do. It's something that I do think needs to be more of so that
Yeah.
texture can get
I
that
agree.
exposure in those parts of the industry.
I agree. I agree.
And I mean, you've also navigated the industry as a young artist. So, as somebody that's an emerging stylist who's already achieved, some major milestones, what's the biggest challenge that you faced and how did you work your way through it?
I feel like I'm still working my way through honestly the biggest challenge. Although I've been able to do all these amazing things,
Mhm.
I started cosmetology school in spring of 2021,
Right.
and I ended up dropping out the next year around August because of financial issues. So I was
Mm,
able to finish majority of my school. I have like 68 hours left.
okay.
And I have yet to finish because I have to pay them $10,000 to go back.
Right.
So that has been definitely one of the biggest like hurdles. It feels like I've been dealing with this for like ever. But honestly, I told myself 2026 is the year that I'm going to finish.
Mm,
I actually have a GoFundMe out for raising money to go back to school, which
amazing.
I've been paying myself, but um yeah, $10,000 is a lot of money. But I'm trying
Mhm.
to look at it as not a lot of money because I know people raise money like that all the time.
Mm,
And I'm just grateful that I've been able to find spaces where I could still create and like people just see my talent. So they allow me to work in spaces. But like a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, like technically I'm not supposed to be doing.
mm.
But yeah, I think getting my license has been the biggest hurdle throughout my whole career so far.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely grateful for everything that I've been able to do without it.
Mm,
Um, which is another reason why I appreciated Aggie's exhibit so much because that was the day I found out that she didn't even have a license. Like, granted, she does
mm.
all natural hair.
Right.
So you don't need a license for natural hair, but I really enjoy doing color, which is something that you do need a license for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, when she told me that and I saw all the people that she worked with, she was like, "Yeah, girl, just keep going, you know?" And I was like, "Okay, like, thank you." But yeah, getting my license has definitely been the biggest hurdle.
Yeah. I mean, it's also very, very relatable because school, when you get to that level, isn't cheap. Um,
Yeah,
and it's something that if this is a career that people are serious about, it's something that most people want to pursue is getting their cosmetology license. And I think it's really helpful to hear your story because I'm sure there are plenty of other people who've been through it or are going through it, and they can see, even though you're going through that struggle, there's still so many other things that you've achieved along the way. So it doesn't have to
yeah,
come to a standstill.
yeah, for sure. Even though, like, I feel like I have definitely had moments where I'm like, dang, like,
Mm.
should I be doing this? Like, can I do this? Like, I don't think I can, but oh well, you know?
I think the big thing is that you're trying to do both, right? You're trying to both
Yes.
push your career, but you're also trying to make sure that you go back and complete it.
Yes, yes.
And if you've already said color is your thing, that's something that you love, then you will go and you will finish it. Because to be able to do color at the level that you're capable of doing it, then that's what you have to do, and you're already pushing to make sure that that's done. I think again, it's really important for people to see the reality of the journey, that it's not all smooth. It
Yeah.
can really be presented that way, and I don't think people do it on purpose, right? It's just very much like social media cookie cutter, here's the greatest moments, and nobody sees the bits in between that aren't great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, no, thank you for sharing that. I'm sure there are other people who, like I said, are going through similar things, and it's really good for them to hear and to know that it happens, but you can
Yeah.
still push through and get through it.
Yeah. I think definitely hear when you hear other people's stories, or like I feel like disconnection is something that's very important
Mm,
when it comes to, just overcoming things, or just going after what you want, realizing
yeah,
that you're not the only one who's going through something.
100%. It's never just you. There's always so many people that are going through the same thing. Um, and I mean, on that, there's so much that happens in the textured hair space. And so, how do you want to contribute to changing the narrative around textured hair, both in the beauty industry, but in like the broader cultural spaces like art?
I would love to bring hair books back. I
Ah,
feel like there is not enough hair books out. Like, my friend just gifted me one for my birthday from her aunt's salon, and it
wow.
made me so happy because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I do like, granted though, salon suites have been becoming a thing. So,
Yeah.
it makes it a little more difficult, but at the same time, a lot of the suites have like waiting rooms.
Mm,
Why don't we have hair books in the waiting rooms, like, or really just salon? Me personally, I realized after working in a salon suite by myself and then moving to a barber shop and then a salon after that,
mm.
I realized that I really enjoy working in the salon. I think the best part about a suite is you get to decorate it to your aesthetic. I think that is the best part. I think that's what we truly like. Like, this generation just likes decorating their room. But in reality, like, it's really nice working with other people. You
Yeah.
run out of something, you can ask your stylist right next to you. You're
Mm,
never bored. I think a lot of times in the salon suites it gets boring. Like,
mm,
and I'm an only child. I realized that connection is important for me. Like, a lot of times I would go to school for the social aspects. So,
mm.
yeah. But we need more hair books.
We need more hair books. I also like 100% agree with you on salons. I think the culture of salons, and it's not dead, but it's definitely like decreasing. And it brings so many people together, and it just allows stylists to also learn from each other. Like
Mhm.
the art of learning other techniques and other things from
Yes.
so it feels like that's dying a little bit because of the suites. But
Mhm.
people are kind of like they might be getting their education, formal education, and topping up with classes here and there, but actually nothing really beats learning from somebody who's lived the experience, right? And they're like,
Mhm.
actually, this situation was a mess when I did it. Here's how I fixed it. That's not going to be in a textbook.
Yeah.
I do feel like there is definitely something of salon culture. I really want it to like come back and for stylists to be around each other and for people be around each other again. Um,
Yeah.
that I think that's a vibe that's really missing in the industry right now.
I agree. I agree. But yeah, I would definitely love to make a hair book to just have the girl scrolling, like flipping through, like, like, I don't know, scrolling gets boring.
Yes.
Scrolling gets boring. Like, can you guys show me what you want in the hair book? You know? Maybe you don't have any inspiration today. Oh, just pick up the hair book. You can find something in there?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also it's another way of showing off work. So it's like, here's what you've done with other clients, and people can see this is actually what you've done. They're not just taking a photo from another stylist and showing,
Yeah.
I want that.
Yes.
It's something that you can
Makes
recreate.
you feel more confident.
Yeah,
Makes
because
you
you know
like
you've
feel
done
more.
it before.
Mhm. Yeah.
So no, I love that and thoroughly agree. Um, we've actually gotten all the way to our last question. So it would be amazing to know, what are you most excited for the future? You've already accomplished so much, but are there any dream projects, collaborations, or even like new creative directions that you're working on right now?
2026, I told myself I was gonna focus on doing more projects um for myself, like for
Yeah.
my brand, more so like what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Cuz I feel like last year while I had a lot of great opportunities and I felt like I got to create,
Yeah.
um I wanted to be what I want to create versus like, looking at somebody's mood board and being like, "Oh yeah, I could do that." And you do it
Mhm.
and it's something beautiful that you put in your portfolio, but it's not necessarily like expressing
Mm,
what you want to creatively. So, I am going to be working with a couple influencers,
amazing.
um and artists to create some new looks
Oh,
that hopefully will inspire girls to try more edgy,
ah,
exciting colors. And that's what I have so far. That's what I have so far. That's really my main focus, creating more so for what I want to
yeah.
do versus other people.
And I mean, the more that you're able to put that out there, the more you will find people who are interested in creating something similar or having something for them that is created by you, you know?
Yeah,
That goes a long way to building an audience that is also really in tune with all of the things that you do. And then you find the right clients because you're doing the work that they're interested in and what you
exactly.
love.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
no, love to hear that. And like I said, thank you so much for sharing. And I feel like we've gone through like the whole interview really quickly, but it's been amazing to hear your story, your background, what you've been through, what you're going through. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing everything with us and our audience. We really appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, no, like we're always super lucky to have our guests. So thank you again. And I mean, for anybody who's been listening, please don't worry. We will have links to Amina's Instagram, her socials, her website, so you can keep track of all of the amazing work that she is doing. And we'll also have anything that was mentioned that, that came up that you might want to take note of. That will be in the newsletter. So don't worry, you do not have to Google everything. It will be there, we promise you. We won't leave you like hanging high and dry. And we'll also add a link to Amina's GoFundMe for anybody that wants to contribute to helping her push her way through the last few hours that she has to do at dermatology school as well. So, again, a huge, huge thank you. Amina, thank you for coming on.
Thank you
And
so much.
no, we're super lucky to have you. And thank you to everybody who's been listening. Please like, share, send to other people that you think would resonate. And we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.